Denver made it to the list of 20 finalists for the chance to become the home of Amazon's second headquarters. Denver's submission promises to invest $5 billion to build a campus which would house up to 50,000 employees. Patty, this is one of 20 cities. I loved your example you brought up many years ago. Denver is the Sally Field of cities. We want people to like us, to really like us. But on this one, it's smelling a lot more like the 1976 Olympics than it is to be liked. What do you make of us making the top 20?
Well, to carry the Sally Field analogy, we would have been upset and if we'd been snubbed and weren't picked as one of the top 20 out of the 238 that were originally submitted. We would have been upset, but now will be upset if we get on the shorter list because people are still extremely concerned in this city. They don't want Amazon coming. And they certainly don't want the city and the state to pay Amazon to come when so many of us came here just out of sheer love of Colorado and stay here out of sheer love of Colorado, not because we're being paid to stay. So everyone I've heard in the last 24 hours is upset. Again, they're happy that we're liked because we're the Sally Field of cities, but they don't want Amazon to come here, raise rents. It's not just 50,000 employees, it's the families that come with them. It's the traffic that comes with them. It's the rising rent that comes with them. And this announcement comes at the same time that Denver is expanding its exploratory committee on the Olympics. And the two together just are bringing back feelings of how much do we want this state to grow and how much do we want to pay to make it grow.
That makes a good point. David, on the David Kopel CIO bingo page, corporate welfare is probably a center square. So you've talked about it a couple times, but will something like this maybe get some more people to think about as you put in the past, the controversy behind corporate welfare, because this is something that, hey, we don't want our dollars contributing to a problem, but that has contributed to other problems with other companies that people may not know about. What do you make of it?
Well, remember that these illegal bribes that the Denver and Colorado and other governments are offering to pay Amazon are also secret illegal bribes. Their deal with Amazon is you have to keep a lot of your bids secret and you can't let the public know exactly how much of their money and in what ways is going to be used to bribe one of the richest countries in the world. Our 1876 Constitution repeatedly outlaws corporate welfare. Courts over the years have come close to nullifying it and not enforcing it, and that's been very wrong. But I think if Amazon selects us, you may well see a number of public interest lawyers across the political spectrum come together for the lawsuit, and when it goes to the Colorado Supreme Court, perhaps the Colorado Supreme Court will say, you know, if these words, which the Constitution says over and over and over again mean anything, it means you can't give billions in secret bribes to one of the world's richest businesses.
Eric, it feels that this is becoming one of these touchstone issues where in a regular economy, I think Denver would be, oh, this is great. We get another big business here, and it kind of goes on the way. But right now, with people sitting in traffic, congestion, high rents, high home prices, it's becoming a bigger deal. Do you sense that even growing now that we've made the top 20?
Well, I think it is a trigger point, and with this week's news, that trigger just got a little hotter. Being in the top 20, I'm not sure is any great shakes. I mean, you know, hooray, Denver, we're in the league with Columbus, Ohio. But, and Patty is right, there would have been sort of a letdown to not be in the top 20. But I think she's also right, there will now be, I don't know what the next pairing of the group is it's like the Miss Universe pageant, you know, speaking of Donald Trump, and you know, you start with 100 and then you narrow it down to the top 10, so I don't know what the next pairing is, but I'm not sure a whole lot of people around Denver want this to go a heck of a lot farther. David talked about sort of the legality of corporate welfare, and I'll let him as the attorney here weigh in on that. I just think it is flat wrong. I mean, Jeff Bezos has now eclipsed Bill Gates as the wealthiest person in the world. His wealth is at over $100 billion. You think 1 billion is what? It's $1,000 million. It's a millionaire 1,000 times over. So Bezos is a millionaire, help me with the math, 100,000 times over. he can afford to build a campus, whether it's here or anywhere. I thought it was telling that 3 of the 20 sites are really in the Washington, D.C. area. Washington, Northern Virginia, and Montgomery County, Maryland. There might be a tell there, and if you were playing poker, that 3 out of the 20 are right there. I personally am attracted to the notion that was advanced months ago that this is not just a corporate decision for Amazon, it's almost a national decision, and symbolically, they ought to be going to some Rust Belt city. And I don't know if that's Cleveland, Ohio, or I don't even know all of them that are still on the list, but go to some Rust Belt city and use it as a spark to reinvigorate an economy, as opposed to an economy, whether it's Washington or Denver or Dallas or Austin, that is doing just fine. Thank you.
Ed, we've been talking about the, I don't know, make sure if it's a backlash, but people taking the opposite side of, boy, it'd be great to have a new headquarters. You have some news about that has seen it actually influence into the election.
Yeah, actually, just earlier today, Victor Mitchell, a Republican candidate for governor, who a month ago had told me for his story, I'm not going to back a single cent for Amazon, has launched a new social media specific advertising campaign that's all about, if I'm elected governor, I won't give away $1 to Amazon. I think you're going to see this, and there were other Republican candidates who said the same thing, most notably Tom Tancredo. But this is an issue that so far has split politicians. Most of the Democratic gubernatorial candidates told me, yeah, I'm okay with us giving the standard incentives that we give to any company to Amazon, and maybe we'll ask them for a little help in internships or something. Some Republicans hate this idea. Some, like Walker Stapleton, are saying, look, this is actually high-paying jobs, well-educated citizens. This is a good thing we want in our area. I think you're going to see more and more pushback, but the other thing I think you're going to see is a bleed off from this that says, okay, if there's a chance, and now technically there's a 5% chance that we'll get Amazon, though I'm with Eric, I think they're going to D.C., then we better work on the things that are going to become problem spots. Let's put money to our roads now. Let's work on affordable housing now. I mean, technically, this has a chance to cross party lines and actually become a bipartisan effort to, hey, let's put money into our infrastructure to get things ready for this big employer. Do I think everything will be that simple? No. But it's at least grabbing people's attention, and maybe it will make them focus on issues associated with growth more.